Track 1. This is it. The interview. Took some digging to find it, but here he is, my big brother, back in his prime. The note disappears, and for a moment the screen goes blank. Suddenly, image of a news correspondent flashes onto the screen, accompanied by a brief orchestral flourish. A timestamp in the upper right corner of the screen reveals the date. August 22nd, 2012. Holy shit. Thank you for joining us. We are coming to you live from the ruins of Sangerhausen, the 5th hardest mountain town to be sacked by the Dragon Firewing. Standing by my side is the head of Deal Defense, Dr. Adrian Vauclair. Dr. Vauclair has been hailed as a leader in an effort to bring down Firewing and end her reign of terror. Dr. Vauclair, tell us about your efforts to bring down the dragon. Killing the monster has proven difficult, to say the least. Her speed and maneuverability in the air are extraordinary. Her scales repel small arms fire, and her breath can melt steel. Our R&D teams have been working around the clock to devise a weapon capable of downing the beast. In the interim, we are providing material support for the Luftwaffe's attempts to shoot her down via conventional means. Herr Vauclair, why are you directing Deal Defense's energies to the killing of Firewing? Are there corporate interests at play in this? Corporate interests? No, this is a matter of human interest. Innocent lives are being extinguished and at an appalling rate. I am in a position to help put an end to the slaughter, and so I must. It really is that simple. Dr. Vauclair, you must understand my skepticism. Our viewers aren't looking for a PR statement. They come to us look for the truth. I'm afraid that I don't have time to go back and forth on this. Your viewers can think whatever they wish. My concern is in helping the people affected by this tragedy. In that case, Dr. Vauclair, I thank you for sharing your valuable time with us. You're very welcome. To the viewers at home, stay safe and watch the skies. Salvation is coming. I promise. Again, that was Dr. Adrian Vauclair, CEO of Deal Defense. Dr. Vauclair is the chief architect of the military's current plan to bring down the Dragon Firewing. Stay tuned for more late-breaking news in the battle for Harz Mountains. We'll be right back. Adrian seems like a decent enough guy. Holy shit. I just stumbled onto some of Adrian's old lab notes. I'm not going to say how I came across these. Someone might get hurt if the wrong people watch this. But I've checked them against some of Adrian's old handwriting samples, and they're legitimate. Holy shit, this is big. Alright, okay, back up. Slow down. Breathe. Okay, so these notes. They pretty much confirm something that I'd always suspected. The Luftwaffe didn't shoot down Firewing. I mean, they tried. They pumped thousands of rounds into the air around her, and they lobbed rockets at her for months. Lost a lot of attack helicopters and fighter craft in the process. But none of those things were responsible for taking her down. The Dragonfall was caused by an experimental warhead, one that Adrian and his Deal Defense think tank designed. I don't understand the science of it, not even a little bit. But from what I can piece together, it looks like they designed some kind of chemical radiological agent that acts on the metagene. I don't think that they fully understood what they were doing. It was 2012 after all. I mean, the process worked, but I don't know if they understood why it worked. Anyway, when a warhead full of this stuff comes into contact with a dual-natured creature, like a dragon, say, it drives a wedge between the creature's physical and astral forms. The body gets put into a sort of hibernation state, and the spirit is forced out. It also looks like this process can maintain that state of separation indefinitely, and that's a pretty horrifying thought. A discorporated body supposed to die in a few hours. I've heard horror stories about ghost walking mages getting trapped in astral space, unable to rejoin with their meat. I heard they went crazy from the pain. If what I'm reading is accurate, it's entirely possible that Firewing has been trapped outside of her body for over 40 years. This is why Adrian was always so cagey about the subject of Firewing after the Dragonfall. He knew for a fact that she was alive, even if only technically. Her body crashed down into the SOX, sure, but she wasn't dead. The government wouldn't let Adrian tell the public about any of this, of course. It'd interfere with the lie that they were feeding us, that the Firewing was dead and that everyone was safe, and that people should stop hiding in their basements and get back to work again. But privately, he always said that she was still out there, somewhere deep in the SOX. I'd always thought that he was paranoid, but I was wrong. He knew. So, what does all this mean? It means that the stories I got from that ghost rat suddenly sound a lot more plausible. It means that Firewing is definitely alive, and that Adrian's disappearance is unquestionably tied to her survival. It also means that Germany is in deep shit. Because if Firewing is still alive, it's only a matter of time before she rears her ugly head again. Okay, that's enough for one night. I'm gonna go get drunk. Fair. Look, Adrian, I understand you. Lord knows I do. But you've got to drop this dragon fixation. People are starting to talk. There's a camera cut, and you find yourself looking at a young, handsome Dr. Adrian Vauclair. He wears a slight smile on his face. Oh, they're talking, are they? What a terrible shame. Damn it, Adrian, this is serious. You're a public figure. You could lose everything if you don't keep these ridiculous fairy tales to yourself. Hermie, my theories are not, as you call them, fairy tales. Dragons are real. I saved Germany from one. Have you forgotten? No, of course not. Everyone knows that you killed the Firewing. Stopped, not killed. Fine, stopped, whatever. Winters swipes the bottle off the table in front of him, drains it, and drops it to the floor. Call it whatever you want, but Adrian, you're the only one who's still obsessed with the damned things. Sure, there aren't many of them, and they're not taking over the world. Vauclair's voice is quiet, soft. Such is the cry of the cancer patient, unaware of what's killing him. I'm fine, not to worry, I'll smoke another cigarette, what's the harm? He doesn't see what's happening, but he winds up dead all the same. Winter snorts. Now you're just being maudlin. Look, Adrian. Vauclair shakes his head. His smile has disappeared. You mark my words, Hermie. Within 5 years, corporations, even countries, will fall to these creatures. And the worst part is, nobody will care. Oh, people will tut-tut about it. There may be a protest or two, but nobody will actually do anything to stop them. The immortal, all-powerful, utterly pitiless reptiles will seize more and more of our power, wealth, and territory. And we foolish, short-sighted mortals will never get it back. Green Winter chuckles uncomfortably, raises his hands in the air in a supplicating gesture. Come now, Adrian. Vauclair talks over his brother's interruption. We could solve the problem, of course, but we, as a species, are unwilling to invest our energy into problems that aren't staring us right in the face. As it was with climate change, so it is with dragons. I've accepted that, but you can't ask me to stop caring about it. Winter shakes his head. You're hopeless, Adrian. Fine. By all means, keep caring. Just keep your conspiracy theories to yourself. I'm telling you this for your own sake. Vauclair sighs. He looks incredibly tired. Yes, Hermie, you're right, of course. I mustn't jeopardize my credibility with the masses. Winter's expression turns serious. His voice lowers. It's not just your credibility that I'm worried about. Talk is talk, but sometimes... He pauses, shakes his head. Sometimes I worry that you're really going to go back to the SOX. Vauclair's tone softens again. Hermie, Winters cuts his brother off. A new intensity burns in his voice. Please, big brother, just drop all of this. Stop hunting the Firewing and start living your life again. If you won't do it for yourself, then for Christ's sake, do it for me. Vauclair nods, then looks away from the screen. Alright, Hermie. I'll try. Yeah, that sure did go well, didn't it? A rattling sound fills the air. Yeah, blah, blah. User Jolly Green Winters active. I'm a fun-loving guy who's also a great listener. I love hiking, clubbing, and all kinds of pets. I'm looking for a cute, funny, adventurous girl who's down to party. I don't respond to profiles without pics. No orcs, no trolls. Sorry, ladies. I didn't really need to see his dating profile, but thanks, video games. Alright. That was interesting. That proposes some interesting things. Let's have a talk with Deitrick and see what he has to say. Hey again, boss. You need something? Any updates on Alexander? With a new boss, he's adjusting. It's gonna take some time. I was thinking about what you told me earlier. You said that your idol was going to make you pick a fight that you couldn't win. He shrugs. It's bound to happen eventually. Probably sooner rather than later. Isn't there something you can do to stop that from happening? Well, I suppose that I could refuse, but that probably wouldn't be a good idea, especially not now. Remember, boss, the Dragon Slayer is where my magic comes from. If I turn away from him, you'd better believe that he'll turn away from me. Besides which, I don't even know if I can refuse him anymore. He's been with me for so long, I don't know where he stops and I begin. He grins at you. Don't you worry about me, boss. I've known that this was coming for my entire life, and when it happens, I'll go down in the blaze of glory, the likes of which you can't even imagine. That's a promise. What if you were to pick a fight with a different kind of dragon? Say, maybe a gang or a corporation. He pauses for a moment. That's an interesting idea. If it were big enough and heinous enough, he might be satisfied. I've never tried to bargain or negotiate with the Dragon Slayer before. I'm not sure how I feel about it, and I don't know how he'd take it either. The Dragon Slayer doesn't like to be questioned, and his temper is even shorter than mine. But I'll tell you what, boss. I'll think about it. Any thoughts about the last run that you'd like to share? Hell of a thing, wasn't it? That one made me glad that I don't have to spend a lot of time in hospitals, I'll tell you that much. There wasn't a single aspect of that building that didn't make me feel uneasy. Anyway, that sick bastard of a rigger is dead, and we got paid. Feels like a win to me. You can't really believe that your idol wants you to commit suicide. Of course not. The Dragon Slayer doesn't want me to die, but he does want me to kill dragons. That ain't supposed to be safe or easy. It isn't my idol's fault that I'm getting too old to keep up with his wishes. That's, you know what? Deitrick's fairly reasonable about that. Like, it sucks. Like, don't get me wrong. It sucks that he's kind of come to terms with the fact that he's destined to die because his idol wants him to fight bigger fights, but he seems at peace with it at the very least, and he's gone pretty old, so good for him. One look at Blitz's face is enough to tell you that something is gnawing at him. He stands beside his table, playing with a coffee spoon. Oi, Meowlissa, what you need? What's going on, Blitz? Well, Chief, I hate to admit it, but I might be in a little bit of trouble here. Go on. There's an awkward pause, then Blitz plows on ahead. Well, you remember those creditors I told you about? The ones who loaned me all of that money? Yes. Yeah, well, as it turns out, some of them are a little less forgiving than I thought they were. Keep talking. Well, one in particular seems to have taken things kind of personally. How personally are we talking here? I got a package in the mail that had somebody's thumbs in it. Thumbs? Yeah, thumbs. They came in a cigar box packed in salt. I have no idea who they belong to. I'm pretty sure they're meant to convey some sort of message. I think that's a pretty safe bet. I don't want to lose my thumbs, Chief. I like my thumbs. I think that I need to pay this guy back. Luckily, I've got a plan. I know how to get myself out of hot water with Meat Grinder. I've got it all specced out. Let me get this straight. You took a loan from somebody named Meat Grinder? Hey, Chief, come on. I feel bad enough about this already. There's no need to rub it in. Anyway, like I was saying, I can make it all right again, but I'll need your help to do it. I'm listening. Well, there's this group out in Dragonfall. They call themselves the Londenburg Ring. They're a financial crime organization, and there's a lot of bad blood between them and Meat Grinder's operation. Anyway, back when I was running with the Schwarzherzen, I laid out the groundwork for a hit on the Landberg Ring. I was never able to make good on it, though. For some reason, none of the other gangers ever volunteered to help out. With your help, I could steal enough money back from them to cover my debt and get myself back into Meat Grinder's good graces in the process. So, what do you think? A quick run, just you and me, with me in the Matrix and you as my woman on the ground. We hit them, satisfy my debt, and laugh about it on our way back home. Sound like a plan? Alright, Blitz, but in the future, you need to be more upfront with me about things like this. No problem, Chief. Not a problem at all. You can count on me. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got some last-minute stuff to take care of before we get started. Oh, and Meowlissa? Thanks. No sweat, Blitz. Meet you at the U-Bahn? Oh, no. Not as such, Chief. I won't be physically going to Dragonfall. I've seen enough of that place for one lifetime. I'll be jacking in from a terminal that I set up here in the Cruise Bazaar. Great. Okay, well, I guess that I'll send you a call when I get there. Sounds good, Chief. Thanks again. Blitz. That's... Gotta realize the optics on that aren't great, right? You're asking me to do you a favor. And you're like, I'm not gonna bother actually being there, because I'm sick of that place. I was there too long. That's not great. That's kind of shitty. It's kind of an asshole move. I'll accept it, because you're the only real Decker I've got, but whatever. Lane looks to have mostly recovered from whatever happened the other day. A few butterfly stitches keep closed the lacerations on his face, and his damaged prosthetic looks to be functioning normally once again. And what brings you around today? I want to talk about what happened the other day. The old soldier glowers, but given his physical handicaps and his recent injuries, he hardly makes for an intimidating figure, troll size notwithstanding. Hang my hoop. I'm not a child, woman. I'm not helpless, and even if I was, leave me to whatever fate I've earned. Who was it? Someone who heard an unfounded rumor. A rumor about me joining up with Orc, a presumed favorite pulley club among us trogs. Maybe he was humanist, or maybe just another flux fanatic who thought the balance of power would be upset by me joining with ORC. I don't know, and I don't care. I just want to be left alone. What did they want? He wanted to dissuade me from lending my voice or experience to any pro-metahuman parties. I tried to talk him down, tried to explain my fighting days are done, but he wouldn't believe me. Bastard made a liar of me when I beat him with my crutch. Will they be back? Not if they know what's good for them. Last time they caught me alone, taking a shortcut through an alley. I won't make that mistake again. I'm sticking close to home and close to Samuel and his people. They won't shy away from a fight. Alright, we'll leave it at that for now. The old troll just grumbles. I'd like to hear more about your part in the Euro Wars. Lane sighs, his weight settling on creaking legs. Problem with a tight-knit community like the Cruise Bazaar is that you can't escape who you are. Fine. You want to hear it? I'll tell it. This is going to be interesting. The old troll leans heavy on his crutch and takes a steadying breath. I was a colonel in the Finnish army. During the First Euro War, the Jaeger Brigade was mine. For decades, we'd used ATVs, Nassus, and Bandvons mostly. Slow, lumbering things, but built for the snows of the Lapland. I was the one who changed all that, moving us over to T-Birds. I made us fast and nimble. The Russians were still slow, and though they had us outnumbered and outgunned, we could run circles around them. I'm not sure when, and I'm not sure who, but the comparison was made to Rommel. Arctic Fox followed soon after. But I don't celebrate the title. Far too many young soldiers died under the command of the Arctic Fox. This is why some ask me to fight, and this is why I refuse. I won't take up any more of your time. Lane's a really interesting guy. Let's have a chat with Samuel. Hello again, mein Freundin. What can I do for you? How's Alexander doing? He is adjusting with difficulty. Yeah, okay. I'd like to talk about your organization. Are you accepting donations? Yes, mein Freundin. We are now ready to open up to donations once again. Thanks to your kind assistance, the shelter is now fully stocked with blankets and space heaters, and we have enough rice, salt, and barley to last throughout the winter. But guaranteeing the physical well-being of the Cruise Bazaar's needy is only a part of the equation. We must see to their mental well-being as well. Our next goal is to fully stock the library. With 350 new yen, we can make the purchase. Whatever you can spare would be most appreciated. Here, just take what we need. I got you covered. This is incredibly generous. Thank you, mein Freundin. Not a big deal, Sam. Do good with it. Marvelous. Truly marvelous. With this contribution, we have reached our second goal. We will put this money to use stocking the library with a full range of literature, philosophy, poetry, and training manuals. Thank you again for your help, Meowlissa. You've made a tremendous difference to this community. Happy to help, Sam. Okay. Okay. I probably missed out on donating a few times. The new library is marvelous, Meowlissa. You have worked miracles for this organization. Our next goal is to purchase a set of Trode nets for our new work training program. I have high hopes for this plan, Meowlissa. With these devices, we could teach job skills to the least educated members of our society in a fraction of the time that it would take for them to learn on their own. With 400 new yen, we can make the yeah. Not a big deal, Sam. Do good with it. I can scarcely believe it. With this donation, we have met our penultimate goal. I will send a volunteer to the data haven to acquire the Trode nets. In the meantime, I will make the happy announcement to our guests. Thank you again, Meowlissa. You will never know how important you've been to the people I serve. It was my pleasure, Samuel. Anything to help. The work program has been a rousing success. At this point, we only have one more goal in mind to round out the year. I have been in negotiations with her Burakazi to lease another building in the Cruise Bazaar. The construction is much more modern and sturdy than our old shelter. Our people would be better protected there. In addition, the extra floor space would open up a host of new options for our organization. One other thing, Meowlissa. If we reach this goal, I would like to name the building after you. What? What? Awesome! You are, after all, our primary benefactor. With 500 new yen, we could make the purchase. Whatever you can spare would be most appreciated. There you go. Not a big deal, Sam. Do good with it. I don't know what to say, Meowlissa. With this donation, we have reached our final goal. I will speak with Burakazi immediately and provide him his down payment. The Meowlissa Civic Center will stand as a monument to your generosity and care. Thank you again. Thank you once again. You have been a godsend to the poor of the Cruise Bazaar, and I will see to it that they know it. The Meowlissa Civic Center. That has a nice ring to it. Okay. I am pleased about this in an incredibly narcissistic way. Hey, let's talk to Malit. Oh, we have to the kiddo, too. Oh, you don't... I can't have conversations with Malit? That sucks. I like Malit. She's cool. Hey, kiddo. Hey, pal, I missed you. Got any stories for me? I was wondering, whose stories around here are worth listening to? Well, that's classified information, chummer. If you stick around here a while, you'll figure it out soon enough. In the meantime, a little tip to start you off. I personally like chatting up the old guys. They've always got some great stories. And what do they have to say? Oh, this, that, the other thing. You can talk to them yourself if you really want the info. Just make sure that if you want to talk to Old Tug, you buy a cup of real coffee first. Otherwise, he won't stop pouting at you. What's his deal anyway? Well, he's taken up residence as the official Turk, stereotypes and everything. Spy master, coffee brewer, outsider. It works for him. He had to make some sort of living here in the Cruise Bazaar, you know? He's not got a trade skill. He's not goblinized, so he couldn't hang with Beckenbauer. If he opened a normal shop, he'd be ousted by someone thinking he's stealing their job because he's not German. The coffee shop was a good option because it's obvious. He stays exotic and does what they expect of him with the intel and stuff. She pulls absentmindedly at some hair in her face. Sorry about the intel dump. It's not really useful information. And you'd probably guessed anyway at this point, but you asked, so. You've been a real dull. Gotten way too much information out of me, though. I'll see you around, yeah? Yeah. Okay, let's have a chat with Altug. He's someone I haven't really chatted up a whole lot. He might be an interesting fella to talk to. I recently procured a bottle of 50-year-old Islay Scotch. Would you perhaps be interested in acquiring it from me? Islay, you say? Might I examine the merchandise? He takes the bottle and his smile fades for a moment as he becomes all business, examining it with a critical eye. Then, as quickly as it faded, the huge smile is back. Quite a little treasure you have found. I'm sorely tempted to ask from where, in hopes of procuring more, you see. But no, it would not be polite. I would perhaps value that bottle at 400 yen? 500 yen, since I've got the only supply in town. Thank you, my friend. I have a buyer already in mind for this little gem. Of course, or perhaps I shall keep it for myself. It is good to always have something special in hand for a celebration. Cool, that paid off. I got some of the money that I was giving Samuel back. How much money do we have currently? Yeah, not bad. We're doing not horribly for ourselves. Okay, let's grab some Decker skills. So I don't... Huh. So I don't have to bring Blitz with me every time. So I can grab Blaster. I think you can only have 4 skills on you at a time. I think that's right. Degrade, erosion, and I definitely... Oh, no. Not degrade. Killer is really good. Then I'll also grab medic. And then I could also do ESPs if I really want to, but ESPs seem kind of useless. Also, I want to see... I don't actually know how many skills I can have. You know what? It might be good to just have, the whole, 9 yards. Because I can afford it. Shield. Never suppression. Oh, but I probably don't need level 1 stuff. That would probably be a waste of money. Yeah. Okay. How much money do we have now? Not a lot. I mean, how much karma do we have? Enough. Alright. Let's level up this. So the next time we get 9 karma, I can get a new deck. Because that's something I wish I had focused on early on. In fact, isn't that what I was kind of going to focus on at the start and then kind of changed my mind and just went full combat after I got my shit absolutely rocked by like the first combat engagement? I think that's what happened. Who else should we have a chat with? Oh, we should talk to Simi. I completely forgot her name up until this exact moment. The girl with the chip in her head stands with her eyes closed, rocking back and forth. She looks so frail that yeah, I've seen this. I know you. Maybe by face, but if not by name, I'm Meowlissa. By face, by name, by cry, or by song. Simi Kim is what most people call me. They think I don't know why, but I do. Monica explained. How do you feel about Monica's death? Kim hugs her arms close to her body. Sad. She never got to have a family. She'll never get married, never be a mother. Seems she was a mother the whole Cruise Bazaar. Kim nods her head almost dumbly, her eyes unfocused on the ground. Monica said a mother is always a mother. Always. She hugs herself tighter and stares blankly at the ground. So, what have you been up to? The girl absently fingers the chipjack in her temple. I wanted to escape with the children and the captain. We had to get away from the soldiers, out of Austria. But it was wrong. All wrong. I was taking them over the mountains, but it was the wrong way. I know it was. It would have taken us straight to Germany, not Switzerland. We should taken a train, gone to Italy. Then they would have been safe. I didn't want it to end badly, so I turned it off. Zack told me something new. In it, I feel strong. I have a son, and he's destined to save the world. I have to protect him, because the machines have come back to kill him before he can become a man. Huh. I won't let that happen, because in there, I am strong. Though Kim's words are bold, her trembling voice and body betray someone aching for a fix. Catch up with you another time. He's literally... That's a Terminator sim. That sounds cool, aside from, you know, it being horribly debilitating to a person's mind. Oh, I can't talk to homeless man? Oh, I'm gonna go do something that I've been doing, like, pretty much every time I come to the Cruise Bazaar. Let's go give the dancer a tip. She works hard. All day. Every day. There we go. That probably means absolutely nothing. But I like to think that she appreciates it. Okay, we've talked to everybody, I think. We've kind of been ignoring the elves in the magic shop, but they're not really all that relevant to me. Talked to Altug, talked to the BBS. Yeah, I think we're ready for another mission. Let's go. We should probably do the one for Ager first, because I like Ager more than I like Blitz.